Alright, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be breaking down the NBA slate for Monday, March 13th. We got an 8-game slate on for this Monday, so let's go ahead and get started. Alright, starting off at point guard, your top point guard on this slate is John Wall. He gets a pretty good matchup against the Timberwolves. They're not good defensively against the point guard. If you want to pay up for point guard on this slate, I do like John Wall, even at $52. He's been playing very well as of late, and this is a pretty good matchup. I think he can pay off that price tag in this matchup. So I do like John Wall if you're wanting to pay up at point guard. Under him, you got Chris Paul against Utah. I'm not going to be going there on this slate. I don't think Paul's in play. I'm not really a big fan of that price tag either. And this is a bad matchup as well, so I'm not going to be targeting Chris Paul on this slate. Kemba against Chicago. I do like this matchup for Kemba. Kemba plays a lot better at home, and this game is at home. And the Bulls are really bad defensively against the point guard. So I do like Kemba even at $43. He's been playing very well as of late. So if you want to pay up at point guard, I do like Kemba as well. I think he's in play. Mike Conley against Milwaukee. I'm probably not going to be going there on this slate. If I'm going to attack that price range at point guard, I'm just going to pay down, go $4 down and get Ricky Rubio. Rubio has just been playing out of his mind as of late. His price has increased to $32, but he's been playing very well lately. If you look at his last 5 games, he's put up 33, 44, 42, 41, and 34 fantasy points. So if you want to attack the mid-range at point guard, I do like Ricky Rubio. I think he's a much better play than Conley if you're attacking that price range. Under Rubio, I also do like D'Angelo Russell against Denver. Denver really struggles defensively, and this is going to be a very fast, up-and-pace game. This game should be very high scoring. I'm not really a big fan of Russell's price tag at $31, but he's been playing very well lately. So I also think he's in play. If I'm attacking that price range, though, I'm just trying to find the extra dollar to get to Rubio, but I do like D'Angelo Russell in this matchup, so I think he's in play. Dennis Schroeder against San Antonio. I'm probably not going to be going there on this slate. If I'm attacking that price range, I'm either going to find the $2 or $3 to get to Rubio or Russell. I don't think I'm going to be targeting Schroeder on this slate. This isn't a great matchup against the Spurs, so I don't like him. Elfrid Payton against Sacramento. I really like this if you're looking to attack the mid-range. Payton's been playing very well as of late, and he is still way too cheap on Yahoo at only $22. He's been crushing value lately, so if you need a mid-range point guard, I really like Elfrid Payton. He might be the point guard that I target on this slate. With the way he's been playing and his price still way too cheap, I think he's a terrific play on this slate against Sacramento. George Hill against the Clippers, not going to be going there. That's a bad matchup. Hill's going to have to deal with CP3, and Chris Paul is a really good defender. So I'm not going to be on him. Some guys at the cheaper end, I do like Corey Joseph against Dallas. This isn't a really great matchup. Dallas does play at a really slow pace. But Joseph has been pretty consistent as of late. Aside from his last game against Miami, he was playing very well before that. I do think he can bounce back in this game, and his price is really cheap at only $14. So if you need some value on the slate, I do like Corey Joseph. I think he's in play. He can easily get you 20 to 25 fantasy points, which is good for his price. So I do like him for value. And another cheap point guard I want to mention is Patty Mills. Tony Parker is currently questionable for this game. If Parker is out, then Mills will see a little bit of extra run. And I do think he is a very good value play on this slate if Tony Parker is out. Mills should play at least 25 to 30 minutes if Parker doesn't play. And he can easily pay off that $11 price tag given this matchup against the Hawks. They're one of the worst teams defensively against the point guard. So if Tony Parker is out, I really like Patty Mills at only $11. I think he's going to be a value play I target on this slate if Parker is out. But yeah, that's pretty much it for point guard. Let's go ahead and move on to shooting guard. All right, your top shooting guard on this slate is DeMar DeRozan. He doesn't get a good matchup. He gets a slow-paced matchup against Dallas. And DeRozan has been pretty inconsistent as of late, and I'm not a big fan of that price at $46. So I'm not going to be targeting him on this slate. I think he's too expensive. And he has been inconsistent as of late, so I'm not going to be on him. Bradley Beal against Minnesota. I do like this matchup for Beal. If you want to pay up for shooting guard, I do think he is in play. His price is really expensive at $36, but he's been playing very well as of late. If you look at his last 5 games, he's put up 48, 33, 35, 60, and 39 fantasy points. So even with that price increase, I do think Bradley Beal is in play on this slate. With the way he's been playing, he can still pay off that price tag. Given this matchup, the Timberwolves were really bad defensively against the shooting guard, so I do like Beal. D-Wade against Charlotte, I'm not going to be going there. If I'm going to pay that price tag for a shooting guard, I would much rather have Nick Batum at the same price. Batum just gets a way better matchup, and he's been a lot more consistent than D-Wade has. Batum is also pretty cheap at only $31. So I do like Batum if you're wanting to pay up at shooting guard. He's definitely going to be someone I target on this slate. With the way Batum's been playing and how cheap he is, he's definitely going to be someone I'm looking at on the slate, so I think he's in play. Seth Curry against Toronto. I don't like this matchup for Curry. He's going to have to deal with DeMar DeRozan, and DeRozan's a pretty solid defender, and Curry's price has increased to $27, so I don't think I'm going to be targeting him on this slate. I'll just try and find the $4 to get to Batum. For tournaments, I do like Gary Harris against the Lakers. I wouldn't use Harris in cash just because he has been very inconsistent. But this is going to be an up and pace matchup, a high scoring game. So I do like Gary Harris. He could go off in this game. He's really scoring dependent, and this game should be high scoring. So I do like him for tournaments, but I wouldn't use him in cash. He's just been way too inconsistent. Also at the mid range, I do like Evan Fournier against Sacramento. Fournier is pretty cheap at only $20, and he's been pretty consistent as of late as well. This is a really good matchup against the Kings. They're not good defensively against the shooting guard. So if you need a mid-range shooting guard on this slate, I do like Evan Fournier. I think he's in play. And if you're looking for some value at shooting guard, I really like Jordan Clarkson against the Nuggets. Clarkson is still way too cheap on Yahoo at only $14. He's been playing very well lately. He can easily pay off that price tag given this matchup. The Nuggets really struggle defensively against the shooting guard. So I really like Jordan Clarkson on this slate for value. He's definitely going to be someone I target if I need a value play. Like I said, he's just way too cheap. He can easily pay off that price tag given this matchup. So I do like him for value. Yeah, that's pretty much it for shooting guard. Let's go ahead and move on to small forward. All right, the top of the small forward list, you got Kawhi Leonard against the Hawks. Kawhi is currently questionable for this game. Even if he does play, I'm not going to be targeting him on the slate, especially not at $49. I think he's way too expensive. So even if Kawhi plays, I'm not going to be targeting him on this slate. Jimmy Butler against Charlotte, I'm not going to be going there either. Butler is way overpriced in my opinion at $48. He hasn't been paying off that price tag lately. And this isn't that good of a matchup. Charlotte's pretty good against a small forward. MKG is a pretty good defender. So I don't think I'm going to be targeting Jimmy on this slate. I think he's way too expensive. Andrew Wiggins against Washington. I really like this matchup for Wiggins. Wiggins has been struggling as of late, but I do think he can bounce back given this matchup against Washington. They're really bad defensively against a small forward. So if you're looking to pay up, I do like Andrew Wiggins on this slate. I think he's in play. Even though he's been struggling, I think he can still bounce back in this game, so I do like him. Gordon Hayward against the Clippers. I'm probably not going to be going there. The Clippers are pretty good defensively against the small forward, so I don't think he's in play. If I'm going to pay that price tag for a small forward, I'll just try and find the extra dollar to get to Wiggins. At the mid-range, I really like Danilo Gallinari against the Lakers. Like I said earlier, this game should be high scoring. Both of these teams don't play much defense. So if you need a mid-range small forward on this slate, I'm really liking Gallinari. He's definitely going to be a guy I target. He's been very consistent lately, and he is cheap at only $25. He can easily pay off that price tag given this matchup. So I do like him at the mid-range. I think he's a good play on this slate. Then if you need some value, I do like Brandon Ingram against the Nuggets. Ingram has been playing very well lately. In his last 3 games, he's put up 25, 22, and 29 fantasy points. He's really cheap at only $11. And he does play heavy minutes as well, so if he plays at least 30 minutes, he shouldn't have a problem paying off that cheap price tag given this matchup. So if you need some value on this slate, I do like Brandon Ingram. I think he can easily get you 20 fantasy points in this matchup, which is good for his price. So I think he's in play for value. And yeah, that's pretty much it for small forward. Let's go ahead and move on to power forward. All right, your top power forward on this slate is the Greek Freak. He gets a really bad matchup against the Grizzlies. They're really good defensively, and they play at a slow pace. I'm not going to be targeting Giannis on this slate, especially not at $52. Given this matchup, I don't think he's going to be able to pay off that price tag, so I'm not going to be on him. Blake Griffin against the Jazz, I'm not going to be going there either. Jazz also play really good defense, and they play at a slow pace. Griffin's way too expensive for this matchup, so I'm not going to be targeting him. Paul Millsap against the Spurs. I don't really like this matchup for Millsap, but LaMarcus Aldridge is out right now, so Millsap should be going up against David Lee, and he can dominate in that matchup, so I do like Millsap even at $36. I feel like people are going to be scared away when they see San Antonio, so that should lower Millsap's ownership, so I do like him for tournaments. He could go off. He will be guarded by David Lee, and he should be able to dominate, so I do like Millsap if you're wanting to pay up. Under him, I also really like Julius Randle against Denver. Randle's pretty cheap at only $28, and he's been playing very well lately. And this is a really good matchup against the Nuggets. They don't play much defense, and they play at a really fast pace. So I also like Julius Randle. He's definitely going to be a power forward I target if I'm looking to pay up. I think he's a good play on this slate. At the mid-range, I really like Marvin Williams against the Bulls. Williams is way too cheap on Yahoo at only $20 for the way he's been playing lately. In his last 5 games, he's put up 36, 16, 36, 45, and 47 fantasy points. At only $20, I think he's a terrific play on this slate for that price tag. He's just been doing a lot more offense ever since Frank Kaminsky got hurt. So if you need a mid-range power forward on this slate, I really like Marvin Williams. He's definitely going to be a guy I target. And then if you need some value at power forward, I do like David Lee against the Hawks. LaMarcus Aldridge is going to be out for this game, so Lee should get the start at power forward. He shouldn't have a problem paying off his $12 price tag. He should play at least 20 to 25 minutes, so I think David Lee's a really good value play on this slate. He's definitely going to be a guy I target if I need value. He can easily pay off that price tag if he gets the minutes, so I do like him. And yeah, that's pretty much it for power forward. Let's go ahead and move on to center. All right, your top center on this slate is Karl Anthony Towns. He gets a really good matchup against Washington. They're not good defensively against the center. I don't think I'm going to be paying up for Cat on this slate, especially not at $49. If I'm going to pay up at center, I would much rather take the guy under Cat, and that's Nikola Jokic. He gets a terrific matchup at home against the Lakers, and Jokic has been playing very well as of late. He's definitely going to be the stud that I pay up for on this slate. I think he's going to be able to dominate against the Lakers. They're really bad defensively against the center, so Jokic is definitely going to be the stud I pay up for. He should be able to crush the Lakers in this matchup. I think he can easily get you at least 50 fantasy points. So I think the Joker is the top play on this slate. He's going to be the guy I pay up for. If you're not wanting to pay up, I do like Marc Gasol under Jokic at only $32. That's a really cheap price tag for Gasol. He has been struggling as of late, but I do think he can bounce back in this matchup against the Bucks. They're really bad defensively against the center. So I also really like Marc Gasol. I think he's in play with that cheap price tag. He shouldn't have a problem paying that off given the matchup, so I like him. At the mid-range, I do like DeAndre Jordan against the Jazz. Rudy Gobert is currently questionable for this game, and if Gobert does not play, then DeAndre Jordan should be able to dominate the boards. So I really like DeAndre Jordan at the mid-range. If Gobert is out, he should be able to dominate with no Gobert. So if you need a mid-range center, I like DeAndre Jordan. If Gobert does not play, if you need some value at center, I do like Cody Zeller against the Bulls. Ever since Frank Kaminsky got hurt, Zeller's had to step up and play heavy minutes. Only $14, I think he can easily pay off that price tag given this matchup. The Bulls really struggle defensively against the center. So if you need some value at center, I do like Cody Zeller. I think he's in play for value on this slate. He shouldn't have a problem paying off that price tag. Also, I do like Robin Lopez against Charlotte. Lopez has also been playing pretty well lately. In his last 5 games, he's put up 20, 28, 24. Had a down game against Houston, but bounced back yesterday against Boston and put up 25. So I do like Lopez for value. I think he's in play at only $11. He only has to get you 20 to 25 fantasy points to pay off that price tag, and I think he can do that in this matchup. So if you need some value on this slate, I do like Robin Lopez. And yeah, that's pretty much it for center. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys my starting 5. Alright guys, so this is my starting 5 for the NBA slate on Monday, March 13th. If you guys want my full updated lineup, then be sure to follow me on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT and message me on Twitter and I'll get you a lineup. If you play on Yahoo, FanDuel, or DraftKings, I do lineups for those 3 sites. So if you play on those 3 sites, then you can get my lineups. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys watching the video. Please be sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed. If you never want to miss out on a video, then please be sure to click the bell icon next to my YouTube name. You'll get a notification every time I upload. So if you never want to miss out on a video, then please be sure to do that. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next video. Good luck tonight. Peace.
I'm living front row, y'all can take the mezzanine. Backseat chillin', treating life like it's a magazine. 17 and making money, with no doubt. I had a crush on Gwen Stefani. You no doubt, like I woke up inside a new Bugatti. Let's roll out, nobody told me this was just a hobby. You know now, but if you didn't then you probably would've got it. I remember breaking